gather around the table once again for another session of Dungeons and Drakfus, and today we're taking on some Titan stuff? Yes. This is the ancient Titan City of Ulduar. It's been a while since we've taken on any Titan stuff, because the last time, I think, was Ulduar, back in Classic WoW. So, we are here, and of course, happy Tuesday, by the way. We are here in Ulduar because this is kind of a dungeon hub slash raid hub in Wrath of the Lich King. We're not here to take on Ulduar, mind you. We are here to take on the first instance that players would get access to, which is the Halls of Stone. And I'm just double checking. Do I have anything for Halls of Stone? I don't think I do. So, Halls of Stone is actually off to the left, and there's already another 5 men that we'll cover later, but then we'll finally get into the raid of Ulduar. So here we go, going into the Halls of Stone, and we'll do the lore as soon as we get in. Okay, so alright, now that we're in, let's go ahead and do the lore of the Halls of Stone. Upon departing Azeroth, the Titans entrusted loyal protectors with safeguarding Ulduar, an enigmatic city nestled in the mountains of the Storm Peaks. Designated supreme among his brethren was the guardian known as Loken. But, let's see, where is it? But with the power of the Titan complex in his hands, he turned to darkness and plunged the region into chaos. And therefore, we get a bunch of bosses. Unfortunately, not a hidden boss, because we are doing Heroic. Enough hiding! It's time to take the fight to the Iron Dwarves! So, the Forlorn Watcher. I would gladly give my life for the makers of their creations. However, since Loken's betrayal, it seems all of Ulduar has turned on the world. One in particular, the Maiden of Grief, seems to reel in agony at her new orders. Please lay her to rest and bring me one of her tears. Okay, and then we also have Corrupt Constructs. The Iron Dwarves are busy at work carving up massive stone constructs that I fear will soon be used as powerful weapons. You must defeat their overseer Crystallis and the Dark Rune Giants already walking the halls before it's too late. Okay, so we need to take care of some Dark Rune Giants as well as Crystallis. So, thankfully, let's go ahead and get these started. Now, the cool part is that you will actually get additional quests in the dungeon. This obviously dealt with the whole Iron Rune storyline, so you can see a bunch of Iron Rune dwarves being kind of the enemies here. Well, not kind of, they are the enemies here. Let's see. We need 3 Iron Rune Giants, or Dark Rune Giants, so just grab everybody and just kill them, okay? And I think the third one will come later. So, unfortunately, we can't go this way, but we can go to the right. So let's go ahead and head here, and you can already see an opening with some crystalline shardlings. That's actually where our first boss, Crystallis, is going to be. Now, technically, you could do this in whatever order you want. You could actually bypass Crystallis and the Maiden of Grief and just do the plot in here. They are optional bosses. But we are going to do them all, because this is lore we're talking about, and it's amazing. So already you can see the Dark Rune Shapers who are trying to bring life to these constructs, which we obviously can't let them have, can't let them do. That would not be good. Okay, we'll go ahead and grab everybody, and then knock them all out. So again, happy Tuesday, everybody. I hope everybody's having a good week so far. Dang it, I really should have just cleared out my inventory, and I forgot to do that. So you guys get to watch me do it live. Let's grab the blue. And continue on. Let's continue all the way to the to the Dark Rune Dwarves. Hi, buddy. And now you all die. Because I don't care. And this is actually a really great way to get Relics of Ulduar, by the way. If people remember from my Sons of Hodir rep, when I was actually doing the main quest for those, this is probably one of the best ways to be able to get Relics of Ulduar, which will then increase your rep with that faction, with the Sons of Hodir, and you can get your shoulder enchants and all that. And here is our first boss, Crystallis. But of course, these guys will not leave me alone. So, now, let's go ahead and go into the lore of Crystallis. War isn't won by might alone, it is won by armies. This inherent truth inspired Loken to order the creation of loyal stone constructs to bolster his legions. Crystallis was chosen to oversee the operation, and to crush any interloper that threatens its work. Alright, so now that we've done that, yay! We have now killed Crystallis, so we have therefore halted the operation. Alright, on to the next boss, which actually is the Maiden of Grief. So we're going to take her on and free her from her grief. And then we get to go into the halls of the High Father and learn so much more about this dungeon. Okay, and there's actually our last Dark Rune Giant. So let's go ahead and take him out. Yeah, we don't care about you. Because you all will die at my feet. And here is the Maiden of Grief. So let's go ahead and go into her lore. Loken commands the forces of Ulduar, but not all serve him willingly. The Maiden of Grief has been ordered to destroy any who try reclaiming the Halls of Stone. She mourns turning on her former allies, but fulfills her orders with violent purpose. Even her sorrows have been forged into weapons. So very much the same model as the Maiden of Virtue in Karazhan, but very much a different kind of fight. Yes, we know you didn't, because you're awesome, and unfortunately you got ordered to do something you just didn't want to do. Alright, so that's 2 bosses down. Now we get into the lore of this place. So like I said, you can skip Crystallis and the Maiden of Grief, and you can go right to the meat of the dungeon, and go into what's called the Tribunal of Ages, but also is a kind of major lore event for the character Brann Bronzebeard. So, okay, let's go ahead and take care of these raging constructs. And here's also another Dark Giant you can get. But we don't care. We'll skip these guys, because they're not too hard to kill. We'll kill them later. But as you can see, we get additional quests because Brann Bronzebeard is here. So, well, let's go ahead and first of all clear the area, because we are going to have to escort him. Having these guys alive makes an escort really painful. Brad, what are you doing here?
Inquiring minds just go.
Well now, I'm surprised to see other adventurers in such a place like this. Now that you're here, you can help me find the Tribunal. If my research theories about these halls is correct, information pertaining to the creation of the entire Dwarven race lies within the Halls of Stone. Well now, I'm surprised to see other adventurers in a place such as this. My research on... There be monumental discoveries to be made here. Assuming I can count on you to watch my back, you're welcome to tag along.
Travel safe.
Okay, so let's go ahead and have him escort us. Brad, it would be an honor.
Get some answers. Let's get this show on the road.
Now, they've actually made him move faster. I remember back in Wrath of the Lich King, he would walk. And now he runs, so I'm very happy that they did that. But now it's time for us to walk into the Tribunal of Ages. Which is just at the back of this room, but it's... So basically, this boss is not necessarily a boss, but more an event.
Relish this with me. Soon, all will be revealed. Okay, then. Let's do this.
Yes, Brann, let's.
The answers are here. I can feel...
If only my dear brothers could be here with me at this moment in time, they would not believe what a discovery this will be. The Tribunal are the librarians for the Titan discs, which are stored in this very room. Look, you can see the discs beneath the floor. We must hurry. The greatest discovery of dwarven kind is just up ahead. Let's move, Brad. Enough of the history lesson.
Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
Okay. Technically, you're not supposed to be in this room, but since I want to be able to hear his dialogue...
Now keep an eye out. I'll have this linked in 2 shakes of it.
Warning. Lifeform pattern not recognized.
Uh-oh.
Archival processing terminated. Continued interference will result in targeted response.
Whoa, that doesn't sound good. We might have a complication or 2.
Security breach in progress. Analysis of historical archives. Transferred to lower priority queue. Countermeasures engaged.
Ah, you want to play hardball, eh? That's just my game.
Okay, so now they're going to toss out countermeasures, including enemies that are going to come and attack, but you basically have to guard Brann while he tries to figure out the Titan mechanism and get past the security system, so to speak. I'm just going to sit up here so that we can still hear him as well as the computer. But yeah, this is basically a waved encounter that does get worse as time goes on. All you have to do is guard Brann, and then you're done. And there were achievements to this, but I'm not necessarily worried about that, obviously. Oh no, they got to Brann. Yeah, that was actually one of the achievements. They can't get to Brann. So, oh well, I don't care. I already have the achievement. So, I actually did this on my Shaman Healer and got it. Because Shaman Healing was awesome back in the day.
Index threshold exceeded. Celestial Archive aborted.
News.
Oh. Heightened, what's the good news? That's what he said, but unfortunately the game audio cut him out. Oh no! Now we'll get debuffs. Oh no! Yeah, all you have to do is avoid this one, and then, because she's the one that puts the slow debuff on you. Which is Dark Matter. Increases damage taken by 100% and decreases movement speed by 50. And this will play into the last problem that you encounter in this fight, because movement speed is a problem. For all the people who know not to stand in fire, that's why it's a problem. Bing. Okay. And as you can see, the waves are coming faster and faster. Now, usually, a lot of groups, when I did this, actually stand up here, and I think it's because of the one goddess who's shooting all the time, you can avoid some of that. But I don't care, because she's missing me like 80% of the time. Oh, and we now get to have our final wave of that, because now they have the big constructs. There we go.
So that was the problem. Now I'm making progress.
Critical threat index.
Oh no.
Void analysis diverted. Initiating sanitization protocol.
Hang on. Nobody's gonna be sanitized as long as
So there's an example of this going horribly, horribly awry. Is you'd get that movement debuff, and then you'd get caught in that beam, and that would be an instant problem. There we go. I need to watch Brann's health. Okay. Oh, and here comes more friends. But as you can see, I'm a pro, kinda, and I know how to handle that. And it would actually target a random group member. I'm the only one in here, so he's going to target me every time with the sanitization protocol. But yeah, this was actually a problem back in the day, especially when you were standing all the way up there, and there wasn't too many places to stand. There we go. Now, we're about to finish this up, and there's actually a big thing of lore right after. And what might happen for this is that I will actually let that run, and if you guys are not interested, I'll give you like a skip, a time code to be able to skip to finish up the instance. But there actually is a lot of really cool dwarf lore if people want that. Dwarf and Titan lore, I want to say. Alright. Oh, that's why we got the first contract. Oh no, crap!
Old magic fingers finally won through. Now let's get
Oh boy!
them.
Alert. Security failsafes deactivated. Beginning memory purge.
No! Aha! This should do the trick.
System
There we go.
Life form pattern recognized. Welcome, Brann Bronzen. Query.
Query? What do you think I'm here for? Tea and biscuits? Spill the beans already. Tell me how the dwarves came to be.
So now let's enjoy.
And start at the beginning.
Accessing prehistoric data. Retrieved. In the beginning, earthen were created to...
Right, I know the earthen were made from stone to shape the deep regions of the world. But what about the anomalies? Matrix non-stabilizing and whatnot.
Accessing. In the early stages of its development cycle, Azeroth suffered infection by parasitic, necrophotic symbiotes.
Necro one, speak bloody common, will ya?
Designation: Old Guards. Old Guards rendered all systems, including earthen, defenseless in order to facilitate assimilation. This matrix destabilization has been termed the Curse of Flesh. Effects of destabilization increased over time.
Old gods, huh? So they zap the earthen with this curse of flesh, and then what?
Accessing. Creators arrived to extirpate symbiotic infection. Assessment revealed that Old God infestation had grown malignant. Excising parasites would result in loss of host.
If they killed the old gods, Azeroth would have been destroyed.
Correct. Creators neutralized parasitic threat and contained it within the host. Forge of Wills and other systems were instituted to create new earthen. Safeguards were implemented, and protectors were appointed.
What protectors?
Designations: Aesir and Vanir, or, in common nomenclature, Storm and Earth Giants. Sentinel-Loken, designated Supreme. Dragon aspects appointed to monitor evolution of Azeroth.
Aesir and Vanir. Okay, so the Forge of Will started making new earthen. But what happened to the old ones?
Additional background is relevant to your query. Following global combat between Aesir and Vanir...
Hold everything. The Aesir and the Vanir went to war? Why?
Unknown. Data suggests that impetus for global combat originated with Prime Designate Loken, who neutralized all remaining Aesir and Vanir, affecting termination of conflict. Prime Designate Loken then initiated stasis of several seed races, including Earthen, Giants, and Raikou, at designated holding facilities.
This Loken sounds like a nasty character. Glad we don't have to worry about the likes of him anymore. So if I'm understanding you right, the original Earthen eventually woke up from this stasis, and by that time, the destabilized whatever had turned them into proper dwarves. Or at least, dwarf ancestors.
Essentially, that is correct.
Well, now, that's a lot to digest. I'm gonna need some time to take this in. Thank you.
Acknowledged, Brann Bronzen. Session terminated.
Alright, so if you guys managed to sit through all of that, that was a lot to take in. It was basically the history of the dwarves as well as trying to explain why Loken is such a problem in Ulduar. So if you guys stuck around, great, good on you. If you didn't, I completely understand. But let's go ahead and continue on in the instance. And thankfully, now here's the thing too. If you come into this instance and are brand spanking new to the game, if you want the lore, you can have it. But if you don't, you can actually talk to Brann in the middle of that and terminate it early. So that at that point, you can continue on in the dungeon. And a lot of people will do that because they just want to move the dungeon along, especially if it's a queued dungeon. People have other things to do in their day. But I do encourage people at the very least to at least try and go through that just to see if the lore would be interesting to you, because it is Titan lore, and it does actually explain some of the things that happened in Northrend. So if you were wondering why the Vrykul were dormant, well, this actually kind of explains that part. Now, at the very end right there is Brann, and we're actually going to go into the Forge of Wills to stop all of these new Iron Rune dwarves that are being made through the Forge of Wills. Let's go ahead and talk to Brann.
Loads of forgotten knowledge.
There you are. I think I've just about got this door figured out. Let me know when you're ready and I'll open her up. We're with you, Brann. Open it!
Keep your eyes on the horizon.
And really quick, I'll also go into the lore of the Tribunal of Ages, just in case people are interested in it. And here's actually, Jonier? I don't know actually how you... Sonier?
Don't worry,
The Iron Shaper?
old Bram's got your back. Keep that metal monstrosity busy and I'll see if I can't sweet talk this machine into helping you.
Okay, so first of all, let's go into the lore of the Tribunal. Let's see. Abednium, Kadrak, and Marnak make up the Tribunal of Ages, librarians for the Titan discs that contain the ancient histories of Azeroth. The immobile constructs do not give up the Titan's secrets easily, but adventurers such as the intrepid Brann Bronzebeard believe the reward is worth the risk. And then we have Sonier the Iron Shaper. While some resisted Loken's corruption, Sojonier, the Iron Shaper, was eager to turn the Forge of Wills to a darker purpose. He considers his new creations vastly superior to the Earthen, and will unleash them on any who defy Loken's will. And let's go ahead and take him out. So we need to reclaim the Forge of Wills. Screw you, buddy! We gotta kill you!
You cannot escape the curse of flesh!
Yeah.
Nothing!
Yes, I got it. Okay, there we go. And now we have actually completed the Halls of Stone.
That's downright bothersome. We might have neutralized the Iron Dwarfs, but I'd lay odds there's another machine somewhere else, churning out a whole mess of these Iron Vrykul. I'll use the Forge to make batches of earthen to stand guard, but our greatest challenge still remains. Find and stop Loken.
Alright, let's go ahead and turn in his quest.
I can feel it.
Always more questions than answers, eh, lad? Yes, so let's go ahead and turn this in, and then we will quickly head over to the entrance and turn in the remaining quests that we have. So as you can see, the overall goal changes because we need to take care of Loken. Well, Loken actually is in the next 5-man, but I don't believe we're going to be taking that on just yet. We do have other things to get to, other instances that you guys will want to see. Let's go ahead and turn these quests into Keldir Ironbane. So, the Forlorn Watcher. I wish there were another way, but it seems death is the maiden's only salvation now. Here you go, here's your tear. Keldir stares into the crystal in silence for a moment. No being has ever felt such sincere sorrow as the Maiden of Grief has. Let us remember her spirit as we continue our efforts against Loken. Okay, and then Corrupt Constructs. Well done, Blood Oath. Every weapon we can take away from Loken is a great boon to our war effort. And that's going to go ahead and do it for the Halls of Stone. So, when we get back next week, we will continue on in the next dungeon in the Wrath of the Lich King expansion. We'll see you guys then.